So what you want to do is you want to put it like on your desk and actually light one of the wires. I mean, wicks.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't know what that was for. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'll do that after the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, preferably just with you in the house.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with everybody.
He's gonna invite his neighbors over.
Yeah, I'll be like, check out this cool candle or incense thing or whatever this retard got me on the internet. It looks retarded. he's an idiot. My buddy just got me a nice
Famous last words.
Give me a nice torch lighter for my birthday. Look at that. Look at that flame.
Wow.
I like this.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Is the Qua coming on today, or is he busy?
So Qua said he's running a little late. He's still apparently waiting for some test results. Said it could be life changing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ski mask isn't the highest identity. It's actually the sunken in eyes and the sallow face.
Yeah, he's gay. So. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that. That's a joke. That's a joke, folks. I would never out a member of Honeypot Studios like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gay either. It's not a joke. We love gay people.
Nothing wrong with being gay. Absolutely not. I don't love them. I don't like them. But if that's the way you want to live, who am I to judge? You know, love is love. And yeah, tonight we're also going to be talking about.
That's right.
We have some good topics tonight. Actually, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, we have we have stuff about XXX Temptation. We have
the leader of the alt-right.
The latest. We're gonna replay his latest Snapchat stories. We're gonna get into that. You know, talk about the swag he has.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that for cool stuff. Yeah, we're gonna cover that for about 45 minutes or so. I figured, and then we'll talk about just like general hip hop stuff, like 15, because he really is larger than hip hop right now.
Who?
He is.
Extension? Yeah, he's larger than life.
Yeah.
That's right. He's larger than life and shorter than 5'5".
Yeah.
I really don't appreciate that every time that I see him on tour, he just ends up getting his ass whooped. So it's not a good look.
He got sucker punched, but he could kick some ass.
Well, no, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Then he also got like thrown into that barricade or whatever.
Yeah,
we
need Stud to protect him, not Richard Spencer.
Yeah,
that's right. But we need listen up, guys. What you want to do is you want to idolize him, and so I recommend you all look up right now. Let's go to YouTube after the stream is over. Go look up whatever his name is, beats up a man or whatever. And what he does is he basically, some guy's using the bathroom and he runs in and sucker punches him and beats him up, and then turns on the lights so the camera can watch.
That's very good showmanship.
That behavior. Yeah, emulate his behavior, right, guys? That's really what you should do when you listen to hip hop. Like I endorse that 100%.
I feel like
start drinking lean too.
Yeah, lean's really good for you. I feel like every time we do one of these weekly sets, we need to have like the jackass disclaimer at the beginning of it. You know,
the 4chan disclaimer, like anything posted here. Yeah, no, dude, I had that on my Twitter. I had that on my Twitter, and people still just fucking blatantly disregard it and like actually take my advice. It's like I don't even take my advice. So what are you doing? No, but seriously, start listening to rap. Start listening to hip hop. Dealing drugs is awesome if you can legally. Be a pharmacist.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
I hope I didn't interrupt you guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit late.
No,
you're good.
We run a loose ship, so.
Okay, is the audio okay? Does my mic sound okay to you guys?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a cheap piece of shit, so it's off and on. Never know if it's going to be good or not.
No, you're fine. Trust me. Production quality here at Honeypot Studios is not that high, so I think you actually sound better than all of us.
So I fit right in? That's good.
Yeah.
$20 headsets is the way to go. I like that.
There you go.
You actually do sound really good for a $20 headset.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little Logitech one. I've been using the same one for about fucking 8 years. I'm a stickler. I tried using a Blue Yeti on a video recently, and it's like a fucking cave. It sounds like I'm in a cave with the echo going on, so I have no idea how to do that shit. I'll just stick with a headset.
Yeah, keep up what you've been doing has been working.
What's that? Using this headset or trying the Blue Yeti thing?
Yeah.
No, the headset for 8 years. I would say you've got it down.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I mean, it's tinny as shit. Like I hear people complain about the audio all the time, and I guess I don't really hear it as badly as they do because it's always coming through my PC speakers. But fuck, if I try to play it on like a television or like a car radio, sounds awful. I know why they're pissed off.
Well, no, their problem is that they're poor and they should have speakers. That's the way we approach our audience. Is that if we sound like shit, it's because you don't have good speakers.
It's your fault.
Put it on them. I got you.
Yeah, and also if they're poor, they also have to give us money so that we can afford better speakers.
Yeah, and audio.
Yeah, it's really a lose being a fan.
Is that how it runs? Yeah.
Yeah, they're
so anyway, what we were having you on for is what I asked, obviously, on Twitter or whatever. Basically, just if you could give us a rundown on that Charlemagne the God thing. What's the
black
deal
magic?
with his
Yeah,
show?
I can tell you about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was 5'6". That's fucking hilarious. That's really sad.
The thing I love about it is every time I talk to somebody about it, whether it's on social media or just wherever the fuck it is, I always change his height because eventually you're gonna get back to him and piss him off. Like one day he's 4'8", the next day he's 5'2", 5'6". Nobody knows how tall the fucking guy is. I know it pisses him off.
He's like Benjamin Button. He's just like gradually shrinking.
The magically shrinking, that's what, all the fucking time, yeah. But no, they're doing some kind of a bizarre concept, right? It was pitched basically where the guys who do Catfish for MTV wanted to do a version of that for Trolls, and they got Charlemagne the God to be a host for it. So what blows my mind about this shit is he's like a shock jock, from what I understand. He likes to talk shit, likes to, you know, not very PC, yells with his guests and shit. So to see him kind of going out there and doing all this kind of like PC shit, like we're gonna hunt down the bad guys, just strikes me as fucking bizarre. And so I made a tweet to him, basically calling him a little white girl. And I was like, you know, you're a black man. Why are you acting like a little white girl getting upset with tweets on the internet? And that pissed him off. So he had said, I'm going to like your tweet and track you down. We'll see what you say face to face. So we'll see how that turns out. But he's already this is a guy that wants to run a fucking television show about dealing with trolls. And one tweet sent him over the edge. So I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. But after the CNN shit, with them, you know, like, I
think it'll go extremely well. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And you know, with a show like this, it's just going to be, they're going to hire Craigslist actors to pretend to be trolls because MTV is a shitty network. They're never going to track anybody down. Two, they'd never get them to sign a release to go on the show. Like, who's going to say, oh, yeah, come fuck my life up. Let me give you all the information.
I was thinking about doing this, but just doing it as like a huge promo bit for our YouTube. So
if you're going to go for it, well, if you do, just keep, you know, every time you talk to him, look down. Even if you're eye level with him, just keep looking down. And when he asks you why you do that, then just tell him that's how you deal with short people. Bring like a stepladder or something as a gift.
Yeah.
Peace offering.
No, they sell these foot risers that you can put in your shoe. So we just need a bunch of people to send him those, and
just nothing but foot risers.
Yeah.
No, you should do to get one of those like
phone books.
You know how like they have like those infomercials for like old people to reach stuff on like the top shelf, like the little like hand extendable hand.
The grabbers, yeah.
Send those to him.
But you know, I mean, I can't be too mad at him. I get it. He's upset. He didn't like the tweet. You know, I'd be pissed off too if I could never ride a fucking a roller coaster because I don't meet the height requirement. He's probably bitter at the world because of that.
Yeah, no. See, I thought this came about because like he got trolled really bad online or something. I didn't know this was just like, oh no, he offered to do it.
No, this came about, at least my interaction with him, because I sent one tweet telling him he was acting like a little white bitch, and he didn't like that. I basically called him a Tumblr girl. Because who's going to watch the show? Who gives a shit? Oh, mean tweets. Oh, yeah. Oh, my heart breaks.
Yeah, that's what
he wants to fucking host a show about it.
Yeah, it's what on MTV, so it's gonna be nothing but like fucking 12-year-old girls. It's gonna be like, oh, check out pregnant teens, and right after that, trolled.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more of like a true life, like the life of a troll, but If they're gonna hunt him down, that'll be cool.
Yeah, but that wouldn't really be that interesting, though, to be honest with you, because it would just be like people like us that don't have jobs, just sitting around, like eating Cheetos and being like, "Ben Shapiro's a faggot." Not a lot of good footage there, but
yeah, basically did
how long
their footage.
Yeah, how long do you think the show is going to run, or do you think it actually is going to go to air?
I don't think it's going to get greenlit. I think it's an awful idea. I think they're going to probably do a promo episode, maybe test it in a couple of markets, and realize that it doesn't appeal to anybody. Because what is the point of the fucking show? You get upset about tweets. Boo fucking who? Nobody gives a shit.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like this like weird thing where they're like trying to like capitalize on suicide to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It's like this
Who would do that?
This whole idea of like what was that fucking Netflix show where it was like the girl, like the whole like long drawn out thing where the
Are
girl,
you talking about the attention whore one where the bitch kills herself but writes she like records 400 fucking tapes to everybody she's angry with?
Yeah,
Like, you bumped into me once in the lunch line, so I slit my fucking wrist. It's your fault. Fuck you. Piss on her fucking grave trying to guilt trip me with your bullshit. What they should have done is fucking done like a remix of dubstep with that shit and played it at school laughing at her. Like, fuck you.
fucking winner of the Darwin Awards, that bitch.
Yeah, what a ridiculous show concept that is. Like, how she's so up her own ass that she recorded tapes for like 40 fucking people and sent them out to what, basically make everybody feel bad that she killed herself, and they can never respond. She's dead.
And like, the funniest thing is like if it was like real life, she wouldn't actually kill herself. It would be like a fake attempt suicide. You know what I mean? Like people who signal for that sort of stuff, who want attention, they always like don't die.
The concept of what she's doing is so retarded. She'd probably accidentally succeed at killing herself. Should take the fucking tape and make it your answering machine message so people know who they're dealing with when they call you. You remember that girl? Yeah, that was me. I'm totally responsible for her.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. What always really annoys me is like I go into the fucking like mall and shit, and they always have these like anti-bullying campaigns and stuff. And I'm like, that's what's wrong with us. It's like bullying is not allowed anymore. Like it has become a social faux pas to bully people. We've all become fucking pussies because of it.
That's what I was talking about today. Men are faggots today compared to just about any time in history.
It's really
Yeah,
bad.
I think one of the major problems, like in the last decade or two, is the idea, the administration, especially like in schools and shit, even parents have bought into this crap, is let's ignore the problem, make it go away. So bullying is bad, and we'll basically say bullying is bad, nobody should bully, and that magically makes the problem go away. But then these kids grow up in real life, and it's the real
Dude, these
world.
kids need to be bullied.
Well, they don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how to defend themselves because they're not used to confronting it. You should teach the kid how to have a spine and stand up for themselves rather than try to pretend that there aren't people out there that are assholes. There are just some natural assholes out there. You better learn to deal with it.
Well, thankfully, with the show MTV Trolled, I think we'll all learn a valuable lesson about our online behavior. And I know watching it that I'm never going to do anything again, like call an InfoWars and call Paul Town a pedophile. Like, I'm never going to do that again, ever.
No, I'm never gonna make somebody mad online for the purpose of laughing at them.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting, like if they do the show, I hope they fuck up and some really well thought out troll gives them a fake identity and they're convinced that the person they're going after is that guy. And they just completely fucking ruin some innocent person for no reason.
Oh, that would be a really good troll. Holy shit.
I was thinking about this today when I was thinking about this show in general. It's like, generally, don't they have to get like you to sign a bunch of waivers to even show you or reveal your identity on television in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how they're going to be capable of actually doxing anybody. So it's either going to be staged and hilarious in that respect, or the only people they're going to get are people like Sean, who will be volunteering to go on the show.
And it's free press.
Yeah, see, there's no such thing as bad press. Yeah, it'd be cool.
It's not even an original idea either. Didn't Sci-Fi do that fucking awful show, The Internet Ruined My Life, with Brianna Wu? They had the episode where she's like hiding from snipers and shit or something.
Fucking taking helicopter fire in Bosnia.
Right, rocket attacks on her porch. Like, it's fucking ridiculous shit going on.
Although, I mean, she did have an attempt on her life when that guy, she ran that guy off the road, so.
Yeah. The Eagle Nation.
Yeah.
Terrible tragedy.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. This whole. I really wish what somebody would do is maybe put on a ball cap and pretend to be Matt Forney and go on that show. Just because I hate him.
I'm telling you, if somebody really plays it smart and leaves like a fake trail behind them, and they go and get the wrong person, and it turns into a shit show, it would be amazing.
So if you want to start doing this, start setting up a fake Twitter with your high school bully, and start making tweets from his real name. I'm not telling you to do that, but it would be really funny if you did, and you can put the rest together yourself. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you.
What I really hope they do too is like I always really enjoy those like Dateline shows where they like they'll like put somebody in like a pitch black room to where you can't see their face, and then they lower their voice like 8 octaves. So,
Yeah.
I really hope they do that with this show. Yeah, so I sent him a seizure gif online and it made him have a seizure. I'm very excited.
Should we ever talk about the potential plea deal versus what John Ravello is looking at in terms of if he actually goes through with the trial?
What, it's like 99 years or something?
Yeah. So basically,
which I don't even understand how that's possible, because like I can see the legal case as thin as it is for him essentially committing assault because he had the intent to cause a seizure and all this, but like what assault gets you 99 years in prison without previous offenses?
Well, it's intent to kill. Like that's the charge or whatever. It's like attempted murder. Basically, so they offered him 99 is the max and 5 is the plea deal they offered him, which is really kind of funny. But yeah, so what they're trying to claim is that it was basically an assault with a weapon with an intent to kill, which is
a weaponized GIF. Yeah, this is basic negotiations. They go in with a high number. They're acting like he's buying a fucking used car or something.
It's the art of the deal, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he is fucked. Like, there's no getting around that. But
well, at the very least, if he goes to trial and he gets to testify, he can bring up that Kurt likes to jack off to tentacle porn on stand and get the...
That's the craziest thing is like the dude's actually been like, I think at least, I don't know if he's still in custody or incarcerated, but like he has no idea about like the whole, like, unless like somebody's probably told him, but like the whole hentai thing and all that shit that like Eckenwald's been in, or like the Eckenwald had to have a garage sale or some shit and sell his socks.
Well, no, see, like I actually kind of thought up the perfect defense for him. Actually, what I would do is I would take the stand and be like, "Listen, I was molested when I was 12 years old and sold into prostitution, and people like Kirk Eichenwald who are pedophiles just really trigger me, and I want to remove them from this earth. So I'm gonna have to take insanity, Your Honor."
Just any shade you can throw at him that gets in the testimony. But like, how weird is that going to be on the cell block? Like everybody's talking about their fucking charges, their sheet. Like, what are you in for? Oh yeah, I killed a guy. How about you? I gift somebody really hard.
We don't even know if he had a seizure.
Yeah, his wife was very upset, tweeting at me furiously.
Look what you made him do.
I actually
he's gonna have to go like full weave in prison. He's gonna go like join a white power gang and stuff to survive.
I actually instructed my wife that if I ever like have a seizure or anything like that, like first thing before you call the police, be sure to let everyone know on Twitter. Yeah, just hop on Twitter, let everybody know that I've had a seizure and you're alerting the authorities.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that really bothers me about it is with Eichenwald, was there like, I don't know what evidence or information he put forward. I know he filed a police report, but was there any evidence he actually had an ambulance show up or he went to the hospital?
I don't think so.
No, but
like what I saw is like there was like a fucking bullshit medical report too on top of it.
Yeah, and I think that it's like I don't know if he knew this from the get-go and was kind of planning it, but as far as the assault statutes that they're using, just the intention to cause a seizure is all that was needed. It doesn't actually even matter if he had one, unfortunately, because obviously he didn't. So,
well,
that's such like a.
Are they going with attempt to kill then, or attempt to injure? What was the charge exactly?
I think
it's like attempted murder or manslaughter.
Because I remember looking, there was like something about like some group DM or whatever where he said, "I hope this kills him." Obviously in a joking way, but like so I think they're using.
Oh well, yeah. If he hung himself with his own words, then, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, got to be careful what you say online nowadays.
He got a little too proud of fucking with Kurt and probably shouldn't have said some things, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I remember a year and a half ago, you could just openly threaten murder and not even be deplatformed from Twitter. Now we're going to the DMs and every little thing we say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like a 12-hour like shadow ban thing for basically replying to some Chelsea what's her name?
You'll get it out eventually.
What's tranny's name? They replied to some like weird anime tweet she made or whatever, some kawaii tweet. And somebody's like, "You might want to look at my furry porn." And somebody's like, "Oh no, she won't want to look at that." And I was like, "Oh, you're an idiot," or like just joking, obviously, because nobody wants to look at that. And I got like a 12-hour ban for calling somebody an idiot, like automatically.
Well, that's
so. If Twitter DMs are evidence now, could you just like ahead of time, in case you ever get arrested and this gets brought up, just start DMing random people saying, "Hey, thanks, the cocaine showed up." So you get like all these people into deep shit because they're like, "Wow, there's this drug ring going on."
Maybe.
There's a lot of journalists with open DMs too, so that'd be a really good idea.
Everybody on the New York Times is suddenly a coke dealer. Is that it?
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know about the New York Times, but BuzzFeed got its name not from the news, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's another interesting point that I've kind of thought about. Being a gaming veteran myself, I know that a lot of us troops have PTSD. So if you like post a war gif at a veteran and he has like a PTSD flashback and goes and kills 12 people, like, are you responsible for like 12 murders?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna post a gif of. I'm gonna post a gift of like a massacre at Blood Gulch and see if you kill anyone.
Yeah, it's such a weird argument too, because can you if somebody like tweets at you like, "I hope you kill yourself" or something, is that like intent to kill somebody by having them kill themselves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
that one girl got jail time for that. Her boyfriend wanted to kill himself, and she encouraged him and sent him a message saying, "Just do it." And she got like 10 years.
Did she actually? Really?
She groomed him into suicide. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah, she really worked it. She's like, okay, just go in the garage. Like basically told him how to do it. Like, yeah, go in the garage and turn the engine on. And
trust me, I'm an expert on this. I've killed 5 boyfriends. Just put the gun in your mouth. Stop being a pussy. This is why I'm fucking your brother.
Was that in Canada or was that in Europe?
No, that was here. I thought.
Do we know? It was here? That's crazy. That shouldn't be illegal. Like, you should be able to tell people to do whatever they want.
You shouldn't listen to women. That's the first problem.
She should be in jail for
really
tweeting,
detailed too, wasn't she? She sent him like a shit ton of messages telling him to do it like every day.
Yeah, it seems like she was hell bent on it. So.
Well, what kills me though is like, how stupid are you to where you're gonna make your boyfriend kill himself, but you're not married, you're not gonna get any of his property, you have no life insurance. Like, come on, lady, think this out.
It was a power trip on her part. That's all I can think. Like, she's sociopathic and wanted to be like, yeah, I totally got that one.
She's like the Black Widow.
Yeah, basically, and just going around taking out dudes.
Yeah. Women are the worst. Can't trust them.
Well, if they start texting you to murder yourself, yeah, probably not trust them too much.
They do that to me all the time. I just don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
With his court case, where is it right now? Like, is he chosen to take the plea deal, or is he fighting it, or what?
I'm not sure.
I don't think
I know
they-
there was a researcher thing about them, but like I don't think they raised nearly. You're not going to really raise money for a person named Jew Goldstein. It's going to be really, really hard to try and get some sympathy for that.
Yeah, I mean, because I know when I hear the word Jude Goldstein, I assume he already has a lot of money. So, I mean,
well, to be fair, they did raise $150,000 for the Daily Stormer. So
yeah,
Yeah, but that
can be done.
was like England. This is for like a GIF, so
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
The
funny thing about like the whole like the case is like it's just so funny because the guy, like, what's his name, Eichenwald, is obviously connected because he was like browsing child porn allegedly, of course, and got away with it, and now he's just getting some kid thrown in jail, or not kid, but
See, I thought it was way more than he was browsing it. I thought he was like meeting with child prostitutes to quote unquote interview them.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah,
I
think
bought
I read
something
that.
Yeah, he basically he paid for some for his research.
His research, honey, trust me, it's
and then like they found out he's like, oh, here's also $1,000 I forgot to report that I paid for.
I wonder if he was like, hey, honey, check out these child prostitutes. Isn't this crazy?
No, trust me, sweetheart. I'm just opening a daycare. Don't worry about it. They're all in short shorts because that's the style now. Trust me on this.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. No.
Did you guys talk yet much about Chelsea Manning and the insane downward spiral?
Not yet.
I don't know. I don't know if you could really call it a downward spiral when there's really nowhere to go up from. I mean, you come out of jail, you got nothing to your name, and you're just like, you know what? I have a phone, an internet browser, and goddamn it, I'm checking out DeviantArt.
Emojis. I got some fucking emojis.
Yeah, his
I haven't been
mind's
keeping
so
up on
blasted.
Manning. What are they doing? Like what?
Oh
what
man,
is, what
dude,
is he doing?
you gotta have it.
Scroll through that timeline if you have the chance. It's
That's the next level of government warfare. It's like you go to prison and come out like Chelsea Manning.
Yeah, basically like doing furry role playing live on our timeline.
Wait, really?
Yes.
exactly, but I mean,
It's like
you're fucking
curves and in ASCII.
Yeah, I mean, there was
Licks-
one tweet
licks
where
the
somebody
ball.
was like, "Oh, you like cats? That's amazing!" And then Chelsea Manning replies like it's almost like the nuzzle view ooh what's this tweet or something. It's like purrs, meow or something with anime emojis and shit. It was very disturbing.
Wait, so you telling me that Manning gets out of prison and the first thing he goes and does is erotic role plays a furry on Twitter?
People were sharing their people were sharing their fucking DeviantArt furry pictures with him and just all kinds of disturbing shit.
Yeah,
He's loving it. It appears.
Check the chat.
Also, shilling for UBI, I guess.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm telling people to pay their taxes.
Yeah.
So people like me
Literally.
get HRT in federal prison.
Yeah, well, didn't he come out with a god $100,000 given to him because they raised all this money for him to get out or whatever. They just gave him $100,000 to live on when he got out. And he said you people need to pay your fucking taxes.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
he spent that on a stash of high quality furry porn, so it's all gone.
Yeah, he bought a really nice.
Yeah, he went
fursuit.
to
Those fursuits are not cheap; they're custom made, man.
Yeah.
Stores aren't carrying that twisted shit yet.
Yeah, this is
gotta
dark
give that
timeline,
another 10
Edward
years.
Snowden. He went to jail for leaking government documents and came out and supports the progressive tax rate.
Well, I mean, I've got a handful of woke theories on this. One being that the whole HRT angle and transition is just a cheap plot to distract from the fact that it's clearly a body double who's just there to mouth propaganda at this point. I mean, look at the before after. Tell me what
I would say that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is just this is a big fuck you, and if you decide to flip the script on the government, that's what they do to you. That's what you come out as Chelsea Manning.
It was forcible HRT.
See, I thought Manning did the whole HRT bit and the transition shit to try to tweak the prison system to get favorable treatment, to make themselves a special case, to make it harder to deal with them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he took the HRT pill a little too hard. Because now he's looking at 40 porn. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's even any correlation there or not. But
well, I mean, holy shit, estrogen must fuck you up hard if you go from man to woman to furry. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Dude, once you're out of homeostasis, you don't. It's a hip stop and skip and a jump away from furry porn. It's fucked up.
I'd like to think that HRT now is kind of like marijuana. It's just gotten progressively stronger.
Yeah, the shit you used to get on the street, man. You could just live one night as a woman, have the time of your life. But now, man,
now you have to,
all of a sudden it takes a week and you're a furry.
Did you guys read that article that came out like 2 days ago? It was in a couple of different papers about macaroni and cheese?
No.
No.
A chemical found in the powdered cheese and mac and cheese causes birth defects, affects male hormones, and creates learning disabilities in boys.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's why I'm retarded.
No, here's the crazy fucking bit though. What if that's legit on the level? Like all the people talking about autism and linked to vaccines.
No,
what if it's linked to Kraft mac and cheese instead?
No, dude, it's not just Kraft. It's fucking plastic bottles, receipt tape, like the endocrine disruptor, the Zog as we like to call it. It's real as fuck, and they're trying to turn you into a female.
It's not Zog. It's Chog. It's all like in Chinese factories and stuff.
Is that what it is?
It's just like no. By the year 2030, it's going to be illegal to be straight, and by the year 2040, it's going to be illegal to have any testosterone levels.
Yeah,
forced ingestion of mac and cheese. Is that how they're going to accomplish this?
Forced HRT.
Just wait till the food pyramid gets redrawn and grains are replaced with Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that like the Asians are mad that like all the good lady boys come out of like the Philippines and stuff, so they want to North America. They're trying to strike now.
Get a little early revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, black people are worried about having their melanin harvested, but we need to start worrying about having our testosterone harvested.
That's a real concern.
Real concern. It's happening.
That's what I was talking about with the men becoming faggots. Is like their hormones are so fucked up from like this processed food and shit. Like the mac and cheese thing is like a funny joke, but if you really look into all the other processed foods and especially the plastics and stuff, the containers for this shit, it's like there are more adolescent men with gyno today than any other time in history because of this shit. And it's like,
when they were talking about it being a risk for pregnant women, right? When they were saying it was a birth defect and affected hormone levels, I remember there were a couple research papers that came out over the last couple of years talking about the link between homosexuality as an epigenetic disorder, like a disease.
Yeah.
So it's weird that those two might be linked when you think about it.
Oh, dude, it's fucked up. Like if you talk to some of the guys in Frog Twitter that are super into like reading this shit, it's like there's no hope anymore. like your sex is determined like before you're born, and like if your mom happens to sleep on like a memory foam mattress, like the dust that she breathes in from that can fuck over your testosterone levels before you're even born. So it's like, how do you battle that? Like, that's modernity for you. You're fucked before you're born.
Well, maybe the Chinese will save us with their CRISPR genetic engineering.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They are widely known as a very altruistic people, so I think it's a bright future we can look forward to.
Well, I know if I trip on a sidewalk in China, somebody's always going to help me get up. They're very kind over there.
They're not going to run you over to finish the job and avoid the lawsuit, right?
Yeah, they're not going to take a shit in a trash can and just walk over my corpse. Yeah, no, that's not how they do things.
That whole thing about like how in China you essentially get pegged for the medical expenses when you are involved in an accident that injures somebody, and how that creates incentive for them to like run over children and shit. It's so insane.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know if you guys have seen the CCTV videos of it where, like they'll have security video, somebody hitting like like a teenager backing over them.
Well, it is true. They don't have good Samaritan protection like you would in the West. Like, if you try to render aid to somebody and something bad does happen, you're not liable because you're trying to help. But in China, they don't have that. So if you see somebody choking and you go give them the Heimlich, they're going to sue you because you upset their tummy. You know what I mean? Like, or if you pick somebody up off the street, they're going to say you injured my leg when you lifted me. There's nothing protecting you legally from getting sued from rendering aid. So everybody, I don't know if it's because they're assholes or if they're just scared of getting sued. That's, I guess, what I'm saying.
Probably a mix.
Who would have thought that who would have thought that the Chinese are more Jewish than us? You know? No,
but he's right though. I mean, I saw a video on Live Leak of a van running over a 3-year-old and then backing up, running over her again, and then driving forward again, and then backing up again.
Well, I mean, at least they're compassionate. Like, they're empathetic.
That's pretty base to me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're finishing the job.
They're anarcho-primitivists at heart.
Well, it was like he's trying to fucking rotate his tires and make sure each one was level after hitting her. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Praxis. That's that.
Oh shit. Oh man, Jim, it's really good to have you on, man. I'm really glad you came on. It's been good to interact with you. I've been a big fan for a while.
No, glad you like the shit, man.
You're
trying to have a good laugh at fucked up stuff.
You black pilled me on Gamergate back in the day, and basically saved my internet career from becoming a basic anti SJW bullshit artist. So I appreciate that greatly.
Man, that like, you can't fucking throw a stone on YouTube now without hitting a fucking anti-SJW channel. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I actually have a running feud with Shoe on Head right now, and I'm gonna wrestle Armored Skeptic in combat. Like, that's basically where I'm at now. I'm gonna destroy him and pile drive him through his own Star Wars toys.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably be at Amren, so you could make it happen there.
No, I haven't talked to any of these people in probably months. Like, they'd occasionally tweet at me and shit on my old account, but I noticed that once I said Harmful Opinions got fucked over and what happened to him was wrong, none of them have talked to me since. None of them are subscribed to me after that.
Yeah, it's weird
that's
how...
That's because they got that deal from that Candid site, right? Is that... basically like some sort of advertising deal from the whole like conglomerate of them, and basically like in the clause was you're not allowed to talk badly about Candid, which is basically just a harassment learning like algorithm to ban people automatically, and they sold it as a platform for people to talk without being harassed, but really they were building like an algorithm to sell to other companies like Twitter and stuff. And so you had a bunch of these like skeptic YouTubers basically sign deals, get money from it, and then like promote it to their users.
Yeah,
and that's what Harmful Opinions are talking about.
Some got a lot of good money. Like, from what I understand, Amazing Atheist got probably the most. I know Shoe on Head and Armored Skeptic did some. I think Bearing did one and then felt bad about it. I don't think Sargon did. But my whole thing with that was you've got this big fucking company, right? And you've got this little YouTuber, Harmful, and they're targeting him. They're fucking with him. So,
dude, that's the crazy thing is, like, the social media and shit now gives actual, like, people like you a lot of power over, like, these people, and like they're actually scared of them now.
Well, yeah, but it just annoys me. I thought Harmful Opinions got fucked over by this company, and I guess I was upset by the notion that I wasn't seeing people say, you know what, fuck Candid for what they're doing. They're a shitty company, and they were targeting his fucking family, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. But the thing is, they legally can't, because they signed over. Basically, you can't. I forget what the clause is, but basically, like, the clause they signed for like 3 years or something. They can't speak anything negative publicly about the company.
Yeah, I mean, well, basically, you have a bunch of YouTubers that like are just so desperate to like make a living off of doing this that they're like, yeah, I don't need a lawyer to read over this clause. No big deal. That's money. So I'll just fucking sign my life away. Like.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't care. They obviously don't care about it, because the stuff they're talking about, they just say the same exact thing. Like, you could go away for a year and come back, and they'll still be talking about like feminism and the wage gap and that sort of stuff. Like, it's like news, Yeah.
It's cyclical. Like, the internet's cyclical. There's cycles, especially on YouTube, for what content is popular. The anti-SJW stuff is popular right now, but it's like cresting. Like, it's hitting it. It really is. It's hitting the peak where it's not going to go any higher.
Well, it's
like
also funny because they're increasingly getting lumped in against whatever will they have with people much farther right of them. Like if you, there was an Al Jazeera video that came out after I think the London Bridge attacks that Beardson was featured in, where it was kind of like clear. It was kind of meant to clear up some of the fake news, like postings on Twitter about people's lost relatives, and people were posting pictures of Beardson. They described him as an alt-right vlogger, and then described Paul Joseph Watson as a white nationalist athlete.
Yeah, I was pissed off about that because A, I'm not an alt-right vlogger, and B, I'm pissed off that Paul Joseph Watson was seen as more extreme than me. like, listen, okay, I've never once seen Paul Joseph Watson call for the death of all women on Twitter. like, come on. But you know, it is what it is. But it was actually really interesting to show that video to my real life friends that don't really know what I do.
Dude, I've just started I've been having to explain my week to my real life friends and who came by and why.
And I just want to just take a little break from the stream here to say we here at Honeypot Studios, we want to say thank you to the people who are spending their free time protecting right-wing citizens of America in
free speech
FBI.
Specifically.
Protecting
Yeah.
our
FBI.
the FBI.
FBI is doing a great job keeping
Yes.
everybody safe in America, making sure no communist terrorist ever
Thank
come
you.
to get you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank
See,
you
now
for your
I
service,
feel
FBI.
I feel completely out of the loop here. What visit did you get last week?
Oh, nothing. We may talk about it when the stream ends, but
Well, thanks for having me on and getting me on a few watch lists, guys. I really fucking appreciate that.
Yeah, and really all the extremist stuff we have said, because we have said some, it was basically all from Mr. Metokur's channel. If you want to check that out, FBAI. On over there. There's some bomb building guides and stuff.
You told him I was the guy that
you
originally
recommended?
wrote the anarchist cookbook. Is that what you told him? Nice.
we told them that you inspired Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a cool thing a lot of people don't know about Mr. Metokur is that Andrew Blaze actually he had a second animator that worked with him.
That guy was a fucking nutcase, Andrew.
Yeah, I was so
Oh my
glad
God,
you did
yes.
a video on that because I knew immediately all of that shit was going to be deleted, but I'm like, oh no, Jim is going to cover this. But it's like, holy fuck, he was an artist, I think.
They pulled his shit down so fucking quick. Yeah, he had multiple channels. They pulled down a good majority of them, all of his fucking journals and shit. It was, I backed up as much as I could, and other people backed shit up too. So luckily, I got hold of it.
It's crazy that they do that instead of just and how quickly it is. Like they did that with the Cleveland shooter guy too. And it's like, if they actually just looked at this guy, they could have stopped him a lot sooner. But
the funny thing about him is like basically he had all the warning signs and basically all the stuff we're told is totally normal, the transgender stuff, then plus the the obsession with child cartoons, that sort of stuff. It's like that stuff in a normal society would be like, okay, we got to look into this guy or whatever, but because that's encouraged, nobody ever
the thing that fucking floors me the most is the line in one of his videos where he says, when he's talking to his parents in tape number 2 or whatever, and he's like, and that white shit that was on the floor, that was me painting myself with latex because I wanted to look like a ghost. How fucking crazy are you? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, I really feel like they should have left his videos up just as a cautionary tale. Listen, kids, if you ever start dabbling into the world of fan art or fan fiction or anything like that, you need to see a therapist because you're probably going to end up killing somebody.
Did you see any of his his gun range videos?
Yes.
He's the worst fucking shot I've ever seen. It's fucking unreal.
He fired something like 30 or 40 shots and he killed 4 people, including himself.
He fired 59 times. 59 fucking times.
The safest place was in front of the gun.
He 59 times in a closed space with a fucking shotgun. And he took him that many times to kill 3 people. It's unfucking believable.
I mean, this dude had the time to reload the shotgun, which is not fast, I guarantee you. And still, you know, like I know this sounds really bad. I could have done better. You know, I feel like I could have done better. Not that I would.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Hypothetically,
Yeah,
I never would do anything like that. I don't even own a shotgun.
I know somebody was targeting the FBI, and it would be illegal self-defense.
Well,
Yeah,
he's got a pistol grip shotgun that he's firing from the hip, and he can't figure out why he can't hit anything. And it's like watching this video, like, are you really this fucking dumb? Like, it's not occurring to you what's going on here?
He really needed a mentor on the range, you know. I mean, not that he did.
Well, he did. He had his. No, he did actually have a mentor. He basically his mother filmed some of his range videos, and you can hear him like mumbling under his breath about like killing people, and she's like laughing along, you know, as she films him.
Oh, that's just my little boy, my little Randy, talking to himself about murdering his coworkers. Take your shot, sweetheart. That's a good one.
We just like being able to be involved in what he's interested in.
You know, it's all about parents connecting with their kids. That's all it's about.
It is like really peak boomer, honestly, for a parent to be taking their psychopathic son to the shooting range and like encouraging him on his path to terrible score at the spree game.
Well, shit, he has that video where he fucking where he flips a coin. He's like, if it's heads, I'll I'll kill my coworkers. If it's tails, I'm doing my family at the house. Like it's fucking crazy. Like he almost killed his family.
Well, and that's the thing.
The best part of that video too is like she didn't even show the coin. Like when he flipped it, he just landed like he's just like 10 feet away from the camera, so you don't even know what it actually landed on.
I think it was rigged.
Yeah, Paul's take is he's a pussy. He might have needed to kill his family, and he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a true artist.
Yeah, he's no Anton Chigurh.
Oh, I guarantee you the reason he didn't try shooting up his family is they actually, you know, they own their own guns and go to the range. They're probably a better shot. He'd have fucking died before he got through the bedroom.
Rifle off like 5 shots out of the shotgun and miss everyone and then get hit in the head.
Mom nails him with a hollow point on, you know. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Man.
Another funny thing, like that people didn't like notice with that was basically like the days leading up to the shooting or whatever. He had, you know how he had like the bunch of like crazy accounts or whatever. There was like 10 or 15 different people interacting with him on like a daily basis, like encouraging him, like, you know, you're such an artist, and it's like the world's too good for you, blah blah blah. And then like once it happened, they all like locked their accounts and like they're not like they're not around all of a sudden.
Yeah. Everybody gives him great encouragement about his he made like he made 12 videos in his EGS Ghost Squad shit about, you know, recruiting dead people and all this crazy weird shit, and nobody along the way thought, wow, you know, maybe he's a little fucked up. Maybe there's something going on.
He's gonna follow through on this shit.
Honestly, I'm surprised Chris Chan hasn't fucking went on a fucking shooting spree at this point, but he's probably just too autistic to buy a gun. I think
he'll be
busy
dead.
dilating himself.
He'll be dead from sepsis. He keeps trying to open up a fucking vagina between his teeth.
I know,
yeah.
God.
Jim, do you know about dilation yet?
Oh God, yeah. Thank all of my friends on Twitter for introducing that concept to my life this week. It'll never go away.
When you're talking dilation, are you specifically referring to Chris Chan and his crazy shit, or are you talking where they make a fake pussy and you got to shove like a fucking Coke can up there to keep it?
Oh, he knows all about it.
the latter on that one.
God, how weird. You know, I thought it was so natural, but geez, you know, if you've got a hole in your body and it heals up, maybe it's not meant to be there. It's so bizarre.
Makes you think.
Don't they have to like go in there and like, I think you were telling me about the show, they have to like electroshock all the fucking hairs off of your...
Yeah, no, that was Sam. He actually went to the subreddit for it. Yeah, apparently like the hair grows still for some odd reason. And they have to like go through with like electricity and shock it all out of them, and or it'll just get stuck and keep growing. It's like,
well, yeah, you want to be aesthetic, you know, you want it to look.
Yeah, that's an everyday thing too, right? Like I've read fucking stories about this where people have like gone through their transition surgeries and shit, lament the fact that it like hurts and they have to do it every day and it's a fucking mistake and they wish they'd never done it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like the treatment only lasts. You have to do the treatment for about 4 years because, like, after like 4 years, then you like end up killing yourself. So then you don't have to do the treatment anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you think your average American has the discipline to endure that kind of pain with that regular of a routine on a daily basis, like you're crazy. You know, they're just not built for it.
Your average
can't believe
American
people
can't
be
even hit the
crazy.
fucking treadmill for 5 minutes a day. Kidding?
God, yeah, it must be the moment after the surgery. Like, if you had any doubts and then you did this, because there's no going back. You can't remake that penis. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine? That must hit like a fucking brick house. Like, holy shit, what have I done?
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
actually,
that's why, like,
learning
the
about
post-op
dilation
suicide rate is
has
actually
convinced
higher.
me that there's like a huge differential here. There's like a massive like female to male privilege over the male to females.
Oh yeah. There's I think I actually made a video about that too. There's hardly any female to male. Like, and even if there like is, like, what do you do? You sew up a hole and fucking strap a piece of plastic on the front. Like, that's all you gotta do. No big deal.
Well, no, you're basically just a dyke. That's all you are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just buy a fucking strap on. That's all you gotta do. You're a fucking female to male. It's like, I don't. It's. You know, they're not putting testosterone in the fucking water. You know.
No, they're putting fucking fluoride. Again, back to the feminization, the fluoride in the water. If we didn't have fluoride in the water, we wouldn't have people like Randy Stair.
But hey, listen, you know, people just aren't smart enough to brush their teeth, and you got to put fluoride in the water because they're not that smart. I fucking hate America.
Me too.
See,
But
this is
not-
why you guys are
not
getting
America.
visits last week.
But not the people that serve and protect. The people that serve and protect this great country are awesome.
Yeah, they're very good. They are not smooth brains. They're the elite. The 1% that I
They're
love.
wrinkled brains.
Yeah.
Those grooves in their brains, you should see them. So deep. So deep.
Oh shit! 2 minutes until my birthday. Fuck y'all.
It's gonna be hard to forget now.
Yeah, Jim, you actually were my birthday gift from Paul Town.
Yeah, that phrase has extremely incriminating implications based on Paul Town's prior activities. So sorry for that.
So you got any birthday plans? You gonna go out and get shit faced, tear up the town?
My birthday plans for tomorrow are I'm gonna go lift weights, I'm gonna go eat steak, I'm gonna drink beer, and I'm gonna smoke a 2 packs of Lucky Strike cigarettes. That's my plans.
You got it all mapped out, yeah?
Yeah. I got the steak serenading already. That's all I need.
There you go.
Yeah. Then next week I'm gonna go get my driver's license because I'm turning 16. It's my sweet 16. Very excited.
This man has never drank fluoride water in his life. That's this is actually the ideal of masculinity that everybody should have at age 16. You're looking at the true primitivist man right here.
Well, it's not just drinking it, Qua. It's also showering in it, because if you inhale the steam, it's worse than drinking it.
Yeah.
You like taking hot showers, guys? You like how it opens up your pores, gives you this porous surface across your entire skin that all that delicious zog water can seep in through?
It's not good.
Now, see, I'm just trying to imagine living a life avoiding this because you're going to have shitty teeth and smell like ass. Like, I can't take a shower.
But
I smell great.
My
Listen, Jim, I smell great. My teeth may not be perfect, but that's the other thing.
they might not be real either.
It's not anti-fluoride toothpaste because you spit out toothpaste. It's just anti-fluoride water.
It's still going. It's going in your. It's going in your gums. It's being absorbed. That's like basically if you're drinking like through your mouth, the roof of your mouth.
Well, I mean, you know, it's impossible to avoid any type of like xenoestrogen. It's just impossible. You know,
No, I've done it.
So embrace it.
No, it's
No, I've
Embrace
done
the
it.
selfie
I've done
man
it.
mindset.
well, if you've done it, then like I don't see any reason. Like I have no goal to avoid it then, because if that's all I get, then I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
This
that's
is worth
funny.
it. Seems like a lot of work just to look like you. And
So do you just like drink rainwater then, or what? Like, how does this
No,
work?
I have a water filter for my house for my well. So
ordered
there's
straight
no,
from
there's no
Amazon.
there's no fluoride. No, it's from Amazon.
Now, is that water filter made out of metal, or has it got gay plastic in it? Like, how safe
No,
are we?
It's legit. There's no gay plastics in it.
Okay.
And then I have a
Live in a metal box.
actually I have 2 of the same BPA water bottles. They're in my workout bag though. But yeah.
Here's the thing.
And then you drink out of glass instead of plastic too.
The thing is, though, it really is impossible to avoid dealing with. Have you ever heard of chemtrails, Sean?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think that is that they're spraying over the skies? It's not
It's the same stuff.
Sean just goes out into public with an umbrella and like a gas mask at all times.
Yeah, I look
not that hard.
I look
You're-
like a
you're
normal Korean, like just like.
Yeah, okay, once again, proof that the Chinese are preempting us. No, it's not the pollution that they're trying to avoid. It's the fucking chemtrails.
That's right.
The xenoestrogenic chemtrails.
So Jim, I do have something I want to ask you, and where do you fall on the hip hop question?
Where do I fall on the what question?
On the hip hop question, do you like rap music or hip hop music?
I only listen to country music as I salute the flag, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're talking to? I listen to the gayest weeaboo shit like K-pop. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, do you really?
That's awesome.
I'm a fucking dork, man. You know the stuff I watch on YouTube? I always get these questions. People are like, "Oh, you must watch all the skeptics and rationalists and anti-SJW shit."
I'm trying to really keep
I
up.
I watch fucking video games and comic books and movies and shit. Like
Okay. Who's the best girl?
Who's the best girl?
Yeah.
Are we talking human beings, or are you doing this gay waifu shit?
Yes.
Yes, the gay wife and shit.
The second part.
gay waifu shit?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's a trap question. There's no answer I can give that.
No traps. No traps. Just who's the best?
No judgments.
Just biological females.
Oh fuck.
You can't call yourself a nerd without an unhealthy emotional attachment to this question.
Well, I like my car, but I don't try to fuck it, right? Like, I like anime, but I'm not trying.
Well, slap some anime girl decals on it and see how you feel after a week.
Yeah. Trust me on this one. You don't get tickets or anything anymore either. It's sweet.
Yeah, like what cops would like pull over a car and see like a fucking 36D anime girl with her pussy showing. It's like, I don't know.
I slapped on my 2000 Camry. Cops pull me over, try to give me a ticket. They end up getting distracted, jacking off halfway through. So
That's right. That's right.
So back to your hip hop question. Where do you fall on the hip hop question?
Oh, so basically, kind of where this stems from is that pretty much everybody here at Honey Pot Studios, we took a lot of heat this week because apparently a bunch of unfortunately a bunch of like retarded alt-right people like us, and we don't like them at all. But they love us.
We hate them.
Yeah,
even though they post us on the Daily Stormer, we hate them.
Yeah. So we were talking about hip hop with Emily Yukis, who got fired, for being the peanut girl or whatever, because she said that Jews are bad or something. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently you can't Sieg Heil and keep your job. I don't know why.
That's
weird.
I didn't even do that.
Well, you got a smug face, Sean, and people were probably looking to fire you before any of this.
Fair.
But so the alt-right got really pissy with us because we like hip hop music, and we were arguing that hip hop really is the most masculine form of music. And
you were arguing that, Beardson, and
I just enjoy it.
So I'm going to stand at the side.
I still stand by it. Absolutely. And that I'd also like to say too that I think this war on hip hop is very classist. Okay, because really only poor people listen to hip hop, right? And a lot of these rappers.
Yeah, poor people in upper class Jews in New York City.
Yeah. And to attack hip hop is to attack poor white culture, because whites are the new blacks now, right?
That's right. We're taking it back.
Yeah. So that's basically what I was getting at. I was just trying to get you to pledge allegiance. So we've formed a new movement. It's called the Rap Right. It's not the alt right. We're the Rap Right. And Oh, I'm drunk. And it's my birthday. Hell yeah! I missed it by 6 minutes, but.
How old are you now? 35 or something like
that. If you're watching this is not a sig heil. This is actually I'm just trying to gain my. I'm just trying to gain my balance.
Birthday boy. Right there.
It's called a Roman salute. not a sig heil.
No, I'm just trying to get my balance. This
it's called a fever, guys.
Well, if you're talking about that, you're going to talk about Paul Town.
So do you like hip hop, or do you have any opinion on it, or you're just ambivalent in general?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can say the N-word on the stream for the next 5 minutes if you feel an emotional need to do so.
Listen, I listen to music if it's good, if it's got like a good beat or something. But I'm mostly like a heavy metal guy, man. Like I like metal, to be honest with you. It's kind of the way I go.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Who's your favorite metal band?
Oh, you're gonna fucking love this. You're gonna fucking love this. Baby metal.
Really? I expect something like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm completely down with baby metal. Hell yeah.
I love the fact that like you've got all these fucking industry guys and all these guys that have played in like Pantera and shit like that. Fucking love them. And you know, like they're fucking. It's good music, and like their live shows are fucking unreal.
I saw like Rob Zombie like on Facebook like lost his shit because people were dissing like baby metal, and he was like, these three girls are more hardcore than any of you fucking pussies. Like I was like, all right, hell yeah.
But no, hey, I'm pretty open. If music's good, I'll listen to it. If it's shit, I'm not listening to it. It's pretty much how I am.
That's a good way to be. I'm glad.
Yeah, we're kind of like moderates, like centrists. So like we're kind of just like middle of the road. So, yeah,
you're the centrist.
Well, literally, we're the woke centrists.
You
know. The right and the
left. Look at the Twitter arguments. It appears that the alt-right opinion on this is that hip-hop is going to be allowed to exist in the ethno-state. Okay, so don't worry, guys.
Oh, is it?
You can't have any blacks or Jews involved in the making of it. So,
and it can only be parodies of hip hop songs that were popular in the 80s.
Listen, if it's not Blink 182 covers called Blink 1488, then I don't want to hear it.
Shout out to Mr. Bond and his fashy work.
Yeah. It's white ingenuity. It's just finding words that rhyme with slurs and putting slurs in.
So was there a real argument over fucking music last week or week before?
It's still going. It's still going.
Yeah, see, like, you don't follow us on Twitter, so you miss out on most of the shit. Yeah, it's smart. It's a smart move, but Twitter's awful. But the alt-right has been up in a tizzy about rap music and black people for the past millennia.
So what is their problem with what's their position, I guess, or what? Here's the thing I don't fucking get, right? Maybe you guys can explain it to me.
Yeah,
I hear the term alt-right used, but then there seem to be like 48 fucking subgroups. So
we're talking about like the actual like the Nazis and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
So
yeah,
they're not big fans. They're not big fans.
They're actual white nationalists.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
they're not fans of anything.
What the fuck?
Actually.
Yeah,
if it's fun, you can't do it.
Unless, if it's not fash wave or parody songs, they don't listen to it because that's the only way to guarantee there's absolutely no Jewish influence at all whatsoever.
That's right.
But, to clear up some of your confusion about the alt-right is generally like the way I see it is kind of just like a framework term of basically people who like accept like basically different biological realities, just like females and males are different, and then like different racial groups have different average IQs, blah blah blah. Different groups work differently. But then basically you have people who want to turn it into some sort of like movement where it's like a political group, which I kind of think is kind of stupid because then you have actual people who are like national socialists and people who are just kind of autistic and that sort of stuff. But yeah, so it's such a blanket term at this point. It's kind of meaningless.
Well, hey, speaking of autism, let's talk about Kekistan. Where do you guys come down on that?
Oh, praise Chandelier. Yeah.
We're
it's really based.
not so hardcore on a lot of issues, but we are all 100% in agreement of full Kekistani genocide.
I am.
Assad should use chemical weapons on Kekistan.
I fully endorse Kekistan as a way of accelerationism, because like they're going to be the first to die. I hope in the upcoming wars.
Well, I think they're setting like my view on this is they're setting themselves up to be either the new Guy Fawkes mask or the new fedora, but it's going to end up being a punchline in a year.
A mixture. Yeah, it's already a punchline. Like they have Kekistani leggings for women.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they underestimate, because a lot of the Kekistani people that I see like with the fucking shirts and hats and flags and shit consider themselves right leaning. They're underestimating the left. The left, can use comedy, and when they fucking focus in on how gay that shit is, the jokes are never going to end.
They won't. They won't at this point, just because making fun of how like gay like we mean it like that, like how gay something is, like that's off bounds for like the left now. The left is like tapped out their resources. Yeah, they've neutered themselves. They've just eliminated all the stuff that they were allowed to make fun of, and now it's all like it's too intersectional for them to like actually.
Yeah, and the thing is, like with the left, even the edgy, like the quote unquote edgy stuff, like the Chapo Trap House people or whatever, who run like a socialist podcast and they're all rich Jews in like New York City. Like the most edgy you can get is you can say faggot, and you can use like you can call like Italians wops and that sort of stuff. But like at the end of the day,
calling Italians wops is awesome.
You have to make sure saying the F slur. That's like
they'll say faggot every once in a while. But the thing is, like you have to. If you say faggot, you have to make sure people know that. But I have nothing wrong with people being gay. Blah blah blah. You can't like leave it hanging.
We've established that already. So
they're opening themselves up to mockery. They just don't realize it yet. And the more it goes on, and the more they get attached to that, it's going to. I guarantee you, in a year, it's going to be the new fucking fedora joke, and they're going to feel. You're
right. It's just like we kind of already like look at it that way and make fun of it.
The DSA, unironic membership in the DSA is kind of like.
I'm a member of the DSA and they pay my paychecks. Okay. So.
Well, okay. If you're your county organizer, it's a little different. That's authority there. Okay.
I think where you're wrong though with like where they're going to be made fun of from, it's not going to be from the left. It's actually going to be people from like the right, like Sam Hyde types, that sort of stuff, who actually are not afraid.
I think people like Hyde will make fun of them, but I really do think it's a give and take. It's a pendulum, right? And the left has been getting hammered now for about 3-4 years for being just fucking retards. SJW jokes, snowflake jokes. It's been hitting them hard.
But they're still in power for the most part,
Yeah, well,
but the problem is though, like with like the left is like, the stuff that the stuff you'd actually shame like the Kekistani people for, you can't do that on the left. Like you literally, because you have to accept people who are mentally challenged. You have to accept people on the spectrum. You have to accept people who are transgendered. You have to say that's all normal. So you can't use that to shame people.
Actually, you know what floors me is I keep expecting one day to to look on Twitter and see like a fucking trending hashtag. I'm surprised Black Twitter hasn't fucking torn that apart yet, because that seems like something they'd make fun of ruthlessly.
Oh, the Kekistani people?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Those are like when they like say like white kids are like school shooters. That's who like they're talking about, is like that demographic. no, seriously, that demographic of people. But I don't know. For some reason, they're like shielded, and like the only people they're being made fun of right now is like by people that agree with them most of the time.
Did you see the video where they like took over a kid's playground and like they hung the Kekistan flag on this like kid's playground? And oh my god!
Oh yeah!
I swear to God, I wanted to go there and just start like fucking beating their asses for being so autistic.
That was my reaction too. Somebody was like, "Oh, is this for whatever reason?" They asked me, "Oh, is this harassment or they're harassing kids?" It's like, "No, but it's autistic as fuck. What are you doing?"
No, but it's stupid.
It really is. It's just dumb. You're taking an internet meme and you're fucking transitioning it into real life, and it always ends up being a bad idea. It never fucking works out.
Never.
I don't think. Yeah, you're right about that, but I don't think that'll stop people from doing it. I think that's it's only going to be the thing from now on.
Well,
yeah,
people
it didn't
just don't
stop
seem to.
people before either. With like, remember the Scientology shit, Anonymous? Like they started with black faxes and hacking and shit, but then what did they do? They got Guy Fawkes masks, baked cakes, and went outside Scientology centers for 3 fucking years.
The only thing though that's I think different now is that like you have like with Gamergate with the Scientology stuff is like there was a set goal that they obviously didn't fix or whatever. So with this doesn't even have a goal. Like this is like they're just like wandering around like fighting something that doesn't even exist. Like how can they?
No,
even
they're
lose,
they're they're like
excuse me, Paul. They're working towards an ethno-state for the Pakistanis.
Yeah. No, that's like the weird thing about it being cyclical is like what can you go from like being this weird like civic nationalist like nerd group that goes on like to meetups and waves around a green flag like what do you transition to next? Like what is there left?
Oh, yeah, when I'm talking like cyclical nature on the internet, I can tell you what I think the next direction things are going to go. I think it was like if you took YouTube for example, right? Remember early YouTube? Who got shit on the most? Like creationists, right? You remember those videos like making fun of Christians and shit? They were fucking crazy popular. Yeah. And then it cycled, right? And then it was making fun of atheists. Oh, the fedora tippers and the ladies and shit. And that was the big thing. I think it's not going to be like a left or right change or switch. I think the majority of people are going to go back center to just basic good old fucking trolling and making fun of stupid fucking people.
Yeah, I think if you look at Generation Z, that's very apparent that that's how they're going to be. I think that like the millennials still have this false sense of sincerity towards the things they believe politically, whereas Generation Z has this kind of like weaponized nihilism that means that they don't, like even if they don't have any political views, they still like to shit on whatever the dominant kind of emotional political idea is. And so I think that like they're going to like unknowingly be weaponized in almost a right-wing way because they're growing up in a time period when the left wing is dominant in terms of social discourse.
Yeah, it's basically going to turn into basically what we do now, which is basically shitting on people that think they're actually going to change any of this shit. Like basically people that think that like you're going to be able to you gotta turn the Overton window, man. Like that's all. Once you turn you turn the Overton window, then like all the politics is going to change. And
like a few more hundred tweets with like racial graphs and everything's going to change.
Yeah, it's like dude, just go on Reddit and just say the N-word as much as possible, and I promise you that you're going to get the political change that you need. That's what's going to happen.
No, I've heard the Overton window argument. I went on this was a long time ago. Millennial Woes, you know who that is?
Yeah,
I was on his stream and they were talking about that and stuff.
Yeah, tits.
With like the Overton window and like where politics in the U.S. is right now, like what more of a shift do you need? You took the House, the Senate, you took the White House, and the Supreme Court, right? Isn't it?
Well, no. The right didn't take any of those things. The right in power in America did. But like those things aren't like those people don't actually like sympathize. Like those people aren't actually right wing. I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting though because I think that from my perspective, it's like obviously the alt-right as it exists now has grown over the past year or 2 years, but I think that there's a confusion of cause and effect where they think like, like we're growing of our own accord and didn't realize that like there was the most exciting election in most people's lifetime. And like it was a breeding ground for any kind of like internet activity to grow over that time period. And I think like what's happened after the election, I mean, you alluded to this, how it seems like all of a sudden there's 40 different factions of what was formerly called the alt-right. Before the election, people were totally fine being grouped into this decentralized network of right-wing ideologies. But now it's like, when the election's over and you realize that you don't actually have any power to change the current events in any way other than just arguing about it on Twitter, it all kind of breaks back down. Like when the election's happening and you can lend all this mimetic energy to a campaign that already exists, that's completely different than having to organize and create something outside of those circumstances.
Right, and I think with like Trump and his campaign, I mean, he had people and advisors. You're talking like Bannon or just different people like that I think were tapped into what was going on online that gave him a bit of an edge over somebody like a Hillary who seemed so fucking disconnected from reality of what people were saying. But I think the election scared the shit out of social media. I think you're going to see Zuckerberg and Jack and all of those. Twitter's getting cracked down already. Like if you go look at a response to Trump, it's all blue checkmark liberals that are talking shit to him. They're purging it because they see how powerful it is. So I don't think the next election after this one is going to have as big of an impact with social media because they're scared shitless after seeing what happened this time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Also,
dude,
I would be like
Zuckerberg will run for next election.
I think he might wait for
24.
Yeah, because incumbents never lose.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren can go out and look like an idiot on the campaign trail. I think. Yeah. I mean, maybe The Rock is going to run. That's an interesting prospect.
Yeah, but Zuckerberg's got such fucking dirt on his ass. Like, look at what he did in Hawaii. Build this giant fucking wall around his property, treated the fucking neighbors like shit. They hated him. They wanted him to get the fuck out of there. Like everywhere he goes, people thinks he's a cunt. So
yeah, but then again, like if he has if he's at the reins at Facebook and Twitter cooperates, it's like if those messages and criticisms can't spread, his advocacy for universal basic income and all of these kind of like neoliberal friendly socialist causes could be an interesting wave. I think still, like, as much as I'd love to see him as the candidate, I think that it's unfortunate. Like his charisma is so inhumanly low that he's just not going to make it.
Yeah,
he's like a
Honeypot is working on improving his image so that this is a reality. But who knows what?
The thing is, like, who could he like? Just say he doesn't run in 2020, he runs in 2024. Like, who would he even run against? Like Ted Cruz, maybe, and that would just be like, the battle of who can make people hate them the less.
Kid Rock.
No, he's already running for Senate.
I know, but that's the point. He runs for Senate.
You got to get into 2018.
Yeah, he's gonna pull a Barack Obama. Fucking 2 years in the Senate and then straight to the fucking White House, man. We're gonna borrow our way right to the White House. I guarantee it.
Is he gonna play American Badass on his inauguration day?
I swear to God, I hope so. Like I would cry tears of joy. Like I would finally feel like I'm an American. If that happened.
Yeah, somebody in the chat just had a pretty hot take that we're going to see the reemergence of MySpace Tom running for president.
we need him now. But somebody brought up a good point. Now that SoundCloud's shutting down, isn't MySpace just like a music thing now?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna. So
what you're gonna have?
We're going back, boys.
What you're gonna have with now that SoundCloud shut down, you're gonna have all the SoundCloud rappers running for office since they don't have a job. So you're gonna have that XX Temptation guy running against Kid Rock in 2024.
Hey, I welcome it.
Now, do you think Zuckerberg running is going to end up bringing up some legal issues if he's got access to all this metric data?
It doesn't matter.
I think he'll get a pass because the paradigm favors the left in general.
Did you, Jim? Have you read his manifesto? Have you read Zuckerberg's manifesto?
Didn't he write some crazy shit like open borders and free shit for everyone?
Essentially, it was like
yeah,
it's like a global village, but Facebook is like what is your government?
Like the Nexus, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. One of the things he wanted is like to be able to vote in your country with your Facebook instead of like.
He's fucking insane.
Yeah, but so that's what the left said about Trump too. So it's like,
but the thing is, like
to think that anybody would ever let Facebook be the mechanism through voting. Look at the shit that just happened with the NSA and CIA and their fucking spy kit that got out. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." No, yeah, they're like, no. They're like, it wasn't a big deal until they shut down fucking hospitals and people started dying. Then they gave a shit.
Yeah.
So you've got all these exploits and backdoors out there.
That's not as like far-fetched though as like you might think, because like I heard Google is actually building basically like small like towns to house employees. So it's if Facebook did that, they have so much influence. All these tech companies, they could get
it mind fucks me that Bill Gates got so fucked over in the 80s and 90s. Remember when Reno was making his ass pay like millions of dollars a day for a monopoly for having his fucking web browser pre-installed and shit?
Yeah.
And now you've got like fucking Google and Facebook, and they're doing shit more than Gates did, and they don't get any crap for it.
Yeah, they like broke up AT&T in the 60s, right?
Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how these tech companies can be so huge and not have anything fired at them. But I remember companies from the 80s and 90s getting fucking hammered for it.
I think because because like the social environment in the United States has become so thoroughly politicized, it's like being on board with the right opinions may carry a lot more currency than it used to. You know, like there's such a clear divide between like what the right side of history is and what isn't. And I think like as long as you at least mouth the platitudes that put you on the right side of history, maybe that carries more of an advantage than it ever has before for some of these.
And I think just like with the deal with the tech companies is that they benefit from like more immigration, they benefit from like cheaper labor, like H-1Bs and stuff. And then you look at big like factories and stuff, people who have basically government influence through lobbyists and stuff, and it all kind of aligns. So it's like there's no like the people who are actually setting the laws are getting paid by, you know, lobbyists and stuff, and the tech companies aren't running counter to what the people who are lobbying want.
Yeah, because that's what everybody wants at the end of the day is a fucking technological oligarchy running the country. I'm sure that's not going to go badly for everyone.
No, not if we just let Apple and Microsoft and Google control everything.
Could you imagine on fucking election day you get a message from Zuckerberg saying, "I hope you make the right vote, otherwise maybe I'll let people know what you jack off to."
Thank you, team. You made great development.
Good job, team. We won the presidency.
No, but really, that's actually like kind of what we want at Honeypot Studios is like we want shit to get that bad that we can actually see kind of change come about it. Because what other way are you going to see like a revolt than through Zuckerberg telling you like literally like having your kids pledge allegiance to Mark Zuckerberg?
I think that's what the alt-right doesn't understand, like, and that's why you have the factions, like the 4 different groups, or whatever. Is that like change doesn't come through tweeting? Change comes through people being so fed up with how life is going. It's not like, you know, oh, I dislike immigration because I dislike black people and I don't want them around. It's like, oh, I can't feed my family. That sort of stuff. That's how people actually get in the streets, and I think that's like a misconception that they can like change public discourse enough to actually vote their way to winning.
No, you can fuck with reporters and you can fuck with journalists and stuff, but you can't fuck with public policy unless you actually run.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I guess my take on it is just generally that the trend of celebrities overtaking traditional political individuals for the executive office is going to do a lot of work very quickly to delegitimize that position. And I think ultimately that's a pretty good thing.
Well, I think that's.
You think we're headed towards idiocracy, basically? So we're like,
I think.
Wait, you think we aren't? We have the star from Apprentice as our president.
Well, here's what I think. I think that generation. I think the generation coming up is going to be similar to Gen X. To be honest, you know, cynics and mistrusting of positions of power, and I think that might have more change than we would expect.
Well, no, they definitely are. But have you read like the Pew results of like how traditional Gen Z is versus like the millennials?
Which ones are we talking about? Because I've read a couple of stories where they're saying they hate tattoos, they hate gay marriage, they fucking are super conservative.
Yeah, and that most of them attend church too, like something like in the high 40%.
You think we're going to have a religious renaissance in America?
Actually,
I don't know if it'll be religious.
A pretty devastating tweet on that one.
What's that?
Who did?
A friend of ours, Menaquinone, had a extremely devastating tweet on the Gen Z stuff. Something about like the statistical revival in church attendance you see is like immigrant kids making like Santa Maria shrines out of Walmart dumpster refuse.
Okay. Well,
Well, Jim,
Bro.
what is your like opinion of how things are going to go, like just generally, like electorally, and like who's going to get power, that sort of stuff over the next like 10, 15 years?
I hold the same position I've always held. I think things are going to shit for a number of reasons. I think that the people that actually control things have their own vision of how they want things to play out, and it doesn't really benefit anybody. And I think that I'm just waiting for it to burn down. I kind of agree with what he had said earlier, is you've got to wait for the shit to really hit the fan for people to want actual change. But I do hold out some hope that the next generation will look at millennials and be like, our parents are fucking pussies, holy shit.
You mean like boomers and stuff, right?
Like, say that again?
Like when you say our parents, you mean boomers, right?
I'm talking about the next generation, the generation coming up, the ones that are going to be the children of millennials.
Yeah, and millennials, I've seen people kind of trying to map this out and saying millennials have become essentially like Boomer 2.0, just like in the modern world. That, you know, the kind of the sanctimonious nature and, you know, heartfelt belief in the stupidest causes is kind of reminiscent of the boomers in a way.
I don't know, but things look bleak from my perspective. That's why I think space is the way to go. I think that's the next industry we need to explore. We have a limited amount of finite natural resources that we're going to eventually need to find some alternative around. I mean, I have no problem with using gas and oil and shit, but it doesn't last forever. So what the fuck are you going to do when your economy doesn't support something to replace it? What are you going to do when robots take all the fucking jobs? You know, they're talking about mechanization and robotics replacing all these different things, having kiosks for low-paying jobs like restaurants and shit. You're looking at stats of upwards of 30 to 35 million Americans being out of a job within the next 10 to 15 years. We need to create new fucking industries where you need people doing things, and we need to start thinking of new ways to address fucking problems. Otherwise, at least from our nation's perspective, we are in a deep amount of shit coming up. That's my view on it.
Yeah, that's not very positive. No, I understand though. I think with the whole automation thing, I think that I'm not sure, because basically like the way I see it is you have all these big companies that would benefit from automation, but like the price point that would benefit is less than the price point of basically taking in a bunch of low-skilled labor from Mexico.
Look at McDonald's. They're already replacing their register people with kiosks, right? So
that's in concert with like minimum wage stuff. But like when you have,
but what I'm saying is that's just the first wave. What you're going to see coming up next is automatic driving, which means taxi cabs, truckers. That's a huge industry.
I was listening to an interview that addressed some of this stuff, and a guy was like, "Oh, people say the automated driving is coming so soon, but it's really not." And then they pushed him on it. He's like, "It's going to be like 10 or 20 years." Like that's actually a pretty small timeline in terms of the effect that it would have on.
The problem with like automated driving stuff is that with the way we have tech right now or whatever, just like you can't use satellite because you need like reaction times much faster, and you basically need a lot of sensors on the vehicle.
Well, I mean, fuck, I could wipe out UPS, the post office, and FedEx with automatic driving.
But the thing is, if you can get the automatic driving, but the problem they have is with like with weather and low visibility conditions and potholes, that sort of stuff, it's very hard to make a machine that will be able to kind of look
some
through.
Company people innovate. Some company will come out with some ground-based alternative or some kind of a backup system that when the satellite's down and the weather's bad, that it's got a secondary way of doing it. I really do think.
Yeah, I think eventually, but I think automated driving is one thing that's. I think like the kiosks and the automated production stuff is more reasonable. I think the automated driving, like you have to come to with the breakthrough with like technology, computing.
Well, yeah, but look how quickly shit moves. I mean, compare the technology we have right now today to 20 years ago. Shit moves at a lightning pace. I really think service industry. I really think manufacturing and delivery are fucked.
I was gonna say I live about less than 10 miles away from the Milford Proving Grounds in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, what's your address again?
yeah. You can find it on itsgoingdown.net.
FBI.org.
FBI, yeah. So no, but for real, like you'll see often in Michigan, like all these cars that are like decked out in like this like weird kind of like canvas print that like makes it so you can't photograph them. But like all these vehicles are decked out with like camera, like seven different cameras at least that let you know like what lane it's in, and then like all the time that they're running that fucking like camera and footage is being recorded, because like I've looked, like they park at the fucking supermarket by my house, and I like look inside of them, and like I've seen about 7 different SUVs
just wandering around the parking.
Well, no, it's like I walk by it and it's like, okay, you have some weird fucking paint job on your car, I'm gonna check it out. And like you like anybody that lives around here knows, like, okay, that's from the Milford Proving Grounds for GM, and it's like they're very, very close to having the shit figured out.
Well, shit,
like,
you brought up a supermarket. Like, Amazon's got automated supermarkets now where they want to fucking tie it in, where you basically grab your groceries, walk out the door, and it automatically calculates and charges you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're wiping out an entire industry there. Like, I just think, I don't think people really realize how quickly this shit's going to shift in the next 20 years. And
10 years.
The thing that,
10
even 10 years. The thing that freaks me out is you can look at history. What happens when you've got millions and millions of people that suddenly don't have work?
You go to war, or a lot of people die.
Right.
Yeah,
It happens when you've got really high unemployment and a lot of debt. Really bad shit happens. So
I'm really interested to see like what kind of political attacks are generated from some of this neural network camera doctoring stuff. I don't know if you've seen like some of this deep learning technology where they can essentially like have a computer trained on like thousands and thousands of different pictures of one person's face, to the point that it can start potentially animating like completely new generated video off of it. They can do the same thing with voice at this point.
Yeah,
like,
Adobe's got the program. They had an article up on, was it Ars Technica or something, where they can take voice samples of what you say and make you say anything with just a few.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
it's nuts.
Well,
I missed
imagine
that
the trolling that's going to go on with that. You're going to have Kurt Eichenwald calling up people saying he's going to kill them. You know what I mean?
Or Kurt Eichenwald saying, hey, send me one of those flashing GIFs on Twitter, please.
Well, no, it's funny. I watched this.
That's like an interesting thing that, like, once you can kind of generate anything you want, like to the point of realism, it's then like evidence for crimes. Like, how can you even?
It'll be like a lie detector. It'll be falsifiable.
They can actually say, like, I was set up. I didn't actually do this, even though you have it on film. You can just say that it was created. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you even determine guilt at that point?
No, I actually watched a documentary. They're talking about surveillance and things like that, where this guy went to prison for 2 years of his life because he just happened to kind of look like a bank robber, and they caught footage of him on a traffic cam.
Oh, dude, I just saw a guy that got released after 17 years for that type of shit.
Yeah.
Well, they all look the same, so.
No, there's a white guy.
We all look the same, Beardson.
Yeah, that's true. We do. I don't know. It's nuts. I don't like it.
Yeah. Technology's going in a uncomfortable direction for people that just want to be left the fuck alone.
Well, yeah. People in the States and the West and shit too. But this is another thing that China and China specifically, but Japan too. But East Asia, the AI type shit is they're actually letting that become a thing. And
I don't know if we have to worry about AI. Look what happened to Microsoft every time it made an AI. It turned out to be a fucking neo-Nazi in a week.
Yeah, well. Why that couldn't be for any specific reason at all. We're not going to talk about that. That would be racist. But
you remember Google image search when they would do the thing, what do you look like, or is this a person? And then they had somebody searched up, what was it, monkey or ape, and it was showing black couples.
Yeah,
Like their algorithms and shit. Like
that's the I mean, we're not gonna talk about that because that would be racist, and we're not racist at all.
No, absolutely not.
I'm reporting on factual events that have taken place, not speculating as to the reason they happened.
Listen, I'm not gonna talk about IQ statistics with you, Jim. I'm not gonna make you turn me into a racist or anything at all.
There's only two races, and that's like normal people, and then like the master race, which is like the FBI and stuff, who are actually much smarter and much more handsome.
Yeah, the FBI is the master race, and thank you forever. Thank you, FBI. You're awesome.
FBI.
But seriously though, with the Chinese AI thing, if Western AI turns out to be neo-Nazis, what are the Chinese AI going to do?
Well, that's the thing is like one of our AIs have to win. And I would hope it was ours, because if the Chinese AI wins, like it's going to be able to improve on itself at the end of the day. It's going to be smarter than a human at the end of the day, hopefully. I mean,
yeah, like, you'll end up going to McDonald's and it'll just be dogs. You won't be able to order a burger.
Yeah, they're going to tell you to fuck off. You're too stupid and you can't eat.
Well, that's what's really funny about the left, though, is that they really champion this kind of stuff, and they don't realize that, like, but they also simultaneously will champion shit for the lower class and claim to be the lower class, and they don't realize that like AI is kind of like a replacement for the lower class. So I don't know. It's kind of funny to watch them try to pull these.
Well, that's the thing is they're not genuine leftists, because like they won't any like IQ stuff, any class stuff that's related to race or gender, that sort of stuff, they'll just mental block it, so they won't actually look at like anything actually like that's scientific, so they can't admit that it'll like disproportionately affect that group.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's absurd.
Well, why would it?
This is the real left.
Why Paul? Why would it? Everyone is equal.
Except for the FBI.
Except for the they're awesome. They're sweet. They're cool dudes. They wear good ties. Stuff.
Not that you would know, yeah.
No, I've never ever met anybody, anywhere.
The funny thing is, like, when the FBI is like, the FBI's gonna show up at my house.
They didn't waterboard me, I promise.
No, they didn't. They would never do that.
They actually, the new thing they're doing if you go to federal prison for espionage is they do the old Chinese water torture, but it's with a plastic bottle with tons of BPA in it, and you come out.
Yeah, you come out like Chelsea Manning.
Well, since it seems the feds are probably monitoring this this stream, I'd just like to say my name is Matt Jarbo, and I run the Monday Matt channel. And feel free to stop by anytime. I'm open to conversations whenever.
Matt 40.
Yeah, and make sure to hit up that super chat and turn off your ad block.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
We're trying to bring ethics back to games journalism.
You're still working on that, are you?
I mean,
yeah, that's actually why we had you on, because as the founder and lead like neo-Nazi supremacist / gamer, we want some advice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
No, we're not joking. Like literally, I remember being on Reddit and then like having you basically lead me to being red-pilled. So this is the whole reason milk is racist, and anything that I caused, it's your fault, Jim. So you have to answer for it.
Well, let me just pass the buck to the real mastermind of Gamergate, which is Lotax.
That's right.
Who told me one day, he was like, hey Jim, wouldn't it be funny if we drove Moot crazy and made him sell 4chan? And I was like, if done? And he's like, just go for it, see what happens. And he totally won that bet.
Can you solve this? Is a debate I've had for a while, but I have debated this for a while, that the reason that you left Gamergate was because they were not pursuing the goal of kicking women out of gaming. Is that true?
Listen, whores need to stop playing games. It's a man's thing, okay?
Thank you.
They need to get in the kitchen.
On Natural Honeypot Studios.
I mean, clearly that was the entire point, is why are girls playing video games? That was the entire
It wasn't the whole point. It was why are homosexuals, gays, and blacks and women playing.
I mean, like, no, it's asinine. Like, I swear to God, any time that I play like some like normie game like Overwatch or like PlayerUnknown's Battleground, if I ever have a woman on my team, I lose instantly because they suck at video games. They are not good at video games. They do not have hand-eye coordination.
Women are good at Mercy. Women can play Mercy, and they'll heel slut the shit out of you.
I knew this was coming. I knew when you fucking mentioned Mercy, we were going to start talking about heel sluts. All right.
Yeah,
Hey.
It plays to their baser instincts of nurturing and you know.
Oh yeah, no. No, I've had Mercies afterwards where they're like, "You were such a strong Reinhardt. Do you want to move in and protect me?" Ooh, woo. And it's like, no, I don't know who you are. It's like,
now you realize that Mercy that said that, you know, typed that to you, was really a 40-year-old guy from like Alabama that's fucking with you.
That's fine. And speaking of which, if you're a 40-year-old man and are willing to accept a roommate for no charge, hit me up on Twitter. Say Brain.
No, I think there's a charge they want. I just don't know if it's a price you're willing to pay for them.
Actually, it is.
The price dial
in the chat. Yeah, what's you know, it's sad that men make better women than women do nowadays. That's really the saddest part.
Well, anything you can do, I can do better.
That's the actual like mechanical thing that people should be worried about, or women specifically, is sex bots and artificial wombs. Because once those pop up, you know,
you're fucked.
Yeah, once we can use our UBI to buy one of those. See you later.
Now, see, I'd love to shit talk women in video games, and like Overwatch and stuff, but I'm fucking awful at that game.
Oh no!
Like,
no, it's not your fault.
It is my fault. I'm a fucking silver scrub bitch that's been stuck there for way too long. I'm fucking awful at the game.
No, it's not your fault. It's the thing about Overwatch, and I play it a lot because it's the only game my like IRL friends will play. The thing about Overwatch is that because it's very inclusive. If you get my drift, it's inclusive to other races and minorities and different sexualities. Then basically the Reddit crowd came in, and they were like, "This is our game. This is where we finally feel at home." And basically, any time that you like join a competitive game or you know, try to play a game and win, what happens is these people don't care about winning because like the concept of winning to them is actually very oppressive. So what they'll do is they'll be like, you know,
it's imperialistic, actually.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they're like, you know what, I'm gonna play Torbjorn on attack. And
dude, I just had that happen to me. Holy shit!
I'm not kidding. And they basically will shit up your teams. And if you ever like criticize them in this video game, like, you know, I remember playing fucking Halo Reach and literally calling my teammates cum guzzling faggots, and they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, man, I'll get better. I'm gonna pick up a DMR instead of using the AR. You know, no big deal." Or playing fucking, you know, Counter-Strike and be like, "Hey, you're acting like a stupid piece of shit." And they'd be, you know, okay, no problem. I'm gonna stick to what I know. You play fucking Overwatch and you're like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe Torbjorn on attack isn't such a good idea." And they're like, "It's just a game. I don't play to win. I play to have fun. And they just cry, and then they'll fucking basically throw the game for you. So that's you don't suck at Overwatch.
You know what I love about the game is that people treat it like it's fucking team deathmatch. Like, listen, I get that you're fucking elite, okay, but you're all the way away from the fucking point. Killing people doesn't do shit for me, man. You need to get on the fucking payload. What are you doing?
Yeah. Nobody ever sits in the fucking payload ever. It's literally like I fucking main Reinhardt usually because he's German, and I feel like that's the closest thing to a Nazi that I'm gonna get in that game. So I main Reinhardt, and I'm like basically sitting there with my fucking shield by myself, like fucking dooting along on the fucking payload. I fucking hate like that game's fun and it's fine, but I swear to God, everyone that plays that game is fucking retarded, including me, because I'm still playing.
You gotta play. You have to play Rainbow Six Siege. That's a thinking man's game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it?
It is. It is the thinking man's
high IQ.
Yeah, it's
that's 4D chess.
It is, and plus everybody that I've found that plays the game is anti-Semitic. I don't know what it is, but like literally every game that I join, they're like something like, "Yeah, the Holocaust isn't real. Let's go rescue this hostage."
Wait,
That's
are you still? Are you talking about Overwatch or Siege now?
Siege.
Could you imagine saying that in an Overwatch match? Blizzard would fucking melt down.
No, Blizzard had you arrested by the FBI.
One time one time I said women shouldn't vote in Overwatch, and they banned me from ranked play for a month.
That's about right.
Yeah, I hate the fucking fact that toxic has become like a
oh my god
now, and every
no it's actually awesome because now you can abuse it and be like toxic masculinity is actually a thing now.
No, I'm talking about like in fucking games. I can't stand it when they're like when I'm playing a fuck. It's not even just Overwatch. It's like fucking everywhere now. I blame League of Legends for spreading that shit.
Oh, dude.
Wow, Jim, I had a little bit more respect for you before I knew you played League. But
no, I don't play League. I said I blame League of Legends for spreading that because that's basically the epicenter of where using toxic to address anybody that hurts your feelings in a video game sprung from.
No, yeah.
The thing is, you have to turn that into like a meta game. Like what I do on Twitter now is like because their report functions are so horrible, is that basically like if you're arguing with somebody, you can just like quote tweet them and like tell them they're reported or whatever with a smile, and like it spooks them out. It's actually kind of fun. It's like you can do the same thing with games too.
I actually do the same thing. Like people will like it'd be like me and my 4 friends and the other 2 randoms like get in voice chat and I'm like sorry I can't. I'm actually toxic. I can't join the voice chat because I'm so toxic. I don't want to talk to you because you're probably a very boring person and you're probably gonna make like crappy jokes and I don't know what it is about Overwatch. Every time I join like the public chat on my team, like there's always like some retard that thinks he's funny. And he's like making funny voices and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. Like you're not.
Dude, I played against a guy named named Praise Keck, and I just
that happened to me in Siege. I played against a guy named Kekistan, and I just instantly team killed him.
Thank you.
I was playing Rainbow Six Siege, and there was some guy named like the Armored Skeptic. So I asked him if it was him, and he was like, no. But then when it was time to play, I shot him, and I got kicked.
That's really funny. I was playing Counter Strike with a guy named Armored Strict, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend, and he's like, I don't care, I don't fuck her anyways. And then I fucked her. That's basically what happened.
Wow, so alpha.
Yeah, it was really alpha move.
You sound pretty red pill. Do you have like a YouTube channel, like a skeptic one?
Yeah, it's called the Bearded Skeptic.
What do you Jim? What do you think the people who are the skeptics now in like 2 years? What do you think they'll be covering if they're still doing YouTube?
Okay, like Sargon's got he's at like what 650,000 subs. He'll probably be at 1 million. I don't know if he'll branch out and do other shit, but he's probably solid and sitting where he is.
Yeah.
Shionhead's got like a crazy amount of subs, doesn't she? Like 750,000 fucking subs.
Wait, hold on.
That's her analysis.
A woman with a decent rack has a lot of subs.
I think she has. I think she has more than everybody else, doesn't she?
I think so.
No, definitely she does.
Just
being sarcastic, but like just she's a woman, so yeah.
By the way,
if you want to know where they're going to be, look at people that were doing the shit before the skeptics. What are they doing now? Like look at Onision, right? He had a shit ton of subs. What does he get now? 20,000 views a video. Give it 5 years. That's what'll probably be happening.
Yeah.
In 5 years, the same politics shit isn't going to be relevant at all. It's not going to be.
YouTube's short. You can't make it a fucking career. It doesn't last for most people. You got like 3 people I know that have made it last since its beginning. Like James Ralphie or whatever fucking AVGN still gets high views maybe.
Yeah.
Like who else does? It's short-lived shit. Bank the money and
I think like we have like the H3 people who are branching out to like a podcast now or whatever, that sort of stuff. I think like if you go with the trends. But I think Sargon will be pretty popular just if he does like the just the quote unquote analysis, just of whatever's happening. I think that'll last.
Well, he's got a big he's got a big base, so he'll probably be fine. I don't know. I don't watch skeptic shit, so I don't know. Like, name me some channels. Like, who would you consider skeptics?
I don't know. We that's not really our shit. Honestly,
it's not my shit either. So I don't.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I think like it's weird because a lot of them have put themselves into a box where like you have people like Lauren Southern or whatever who are doing the political stuff, and they've painted themselves into this corner where they're not race explicitly, but like implicitly, where to the point they can't really branch out to anything else at this point.
Yeah.
See, I just got.
The real future is born again Mormon trad wife YouTube accounts.
Oh yeah.
It's how to make butter videos and like how to make blueberry muffins and shit like that for your husband.
Or if you're just like a regular whore, you can do what I was like linking earlier is like just like basically you're baking like a store-bought cake essentially, but in revealing clothes.
Or if you're a wife with a purpose, it's how to cheat on your husband with a woman.
Yeah, wife with a wife.
Type with a purpose.
Wife with a girlfriend. Yeah, no, I think the thing though, I think that's like different now that, compared to all the other stuff is that like you said with Onision and stuff, it's like at the end of the day, like when he gives up on this, he can go get a job as a grocer, or like a convenience store employee. Whereas all these people now who are dabbling in like politics that are like against they're kind of against the taboo. They're making a decent living out of it now, but like once they can't make a living off of it, they're still going to be blackballed with like all the stuff they've said in the past.
Well, I think with anybody doing YouTube, like if you're making money off it somehow, be smart, have a fucking profession to pay your bills, and bank the money. Put it in investments, put it in a Roth IRA. It won't last forever. It doesn't last forever for fucking anyone. Be thankful, bank the money, and be happy you did 4 years from now.
Yeah, and that's something I've always talked about too. It's like, it's really going to hurt your long-term career plans whenever you think that you make money off YouTube for 2 years. Like, what are you going to put on our fucking resume? Well, I talked into a camera for 2 years. That definitely makes me applicable to be the manager of this Walmart.
Right. Well, yeah. Look at Bill Burnell. I mean, DSP. Like, he's got a 10-year gap in employment now. He's got 2 mortgages, 25 grand on his credit cards. He's fucked.
Yeah, it sucks. But
yeah, also
true.
that what's that guy in Infinity or whatever, the Twitch streamer who got banned from Twitch?
That's literally something I've talked about before though. Is like just maxing out your debt and like min maxing. No. Seriously though, like min maxing like what debtors and creditors are able to give you, because like I mean, Jim, you're a smart enough guy. And I know we browse or peruse the same parts of like poll and shit. Like you have to at least imagine that this economy is not stable enough for any sort of YouTube person to stay alive, let alone like the Snapchat fucking stock to stay alive. This shit doesn't produce money.
YouTubers, well, they're already freaking out about their ads. So they're trying to move to different to pay things. Like when you earlier, somebody brought up H3H3. That's probably why they're branching out to podcasting. There's probably more money to be made, more stability in it.
If you get their like amount of views on a podcast, you can make like 10-15 grand per ad read on your episode.
I think alternative I guess pay methods will work. Like I watch old school wrestling. I don't know if you guys know that. It's like a little streaming show. A couple of like fucking like they're Scottish or English or Irish. I don't fucking know. But like it's just this little wrestling show, right? They have 60,000 subs. You know how much money they make on Patreon? 10K a month.
Here's
the crazy thing. Sargon has 600,000 subs, 10 times the amount, but he makes half the money they do.
Well, you know how much Chapo Trap House makes per.
They're like 40, aren't they?
No, 62,000 a month.
Are they up to that now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It pays good money to be counterculture.
The last time I checked Graftion, the person making the most money was selling porn drawing sessions twice a month for 40K. So they're making 80.
Yeah, it's nuts. But it's kind of a weird thing too, because like you can look at people like Sargon that have this like crazy sub amount, but you also kind of have to think too. It's like how many people subscribed back during the Gamergate days and then moved on, but just never really unsubscribed, or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like how many of those people are like actual passionate fans of his that would give him money?
Well, to be fair, I mean, he did grow. I think at the end of Gamergate, I don't even know what the fuck you would say what the exact date of that is, but I mean, even if you said
he's still going on,
even if you said he left it at 200,000, he still has gained 400,000 subs. I mean, he really has gotten a large number, and he was on Rogan, so he got a big boost from that.
I think the only way for him and for
bullshit,
like skeptic YouTubers is kind of like impulse purchases, like shirts. Like I think that's like a big thing behind the Kekistani thing is like you can sell T-shirts to kids. You can't really sell them on like a Patreon thing as much as an older demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think the YouTube economy is going to be stable for much longer. I think there's some house cleaning that's going on, and I think a lot of people are going to get fucking hammered on it, and they're probably going to have to branch out and do other shit.
Yeah.
Look at the ones that are popular now. You want to know the craziest fucking thing? The two guys that are the most popular, growing the biggest right now are fucking Viners, the Logan brothers. One's got 7 million subs, the other's got 12 million in like 6 fucking months.
Yeah, it's nuts. And like, I don't know, it's like like what they do is not like very like mind blowing or really like they're charismatic. That's all.
Well, yeah, it's like basically what kids watch. Like it's a replacement for cable news or cable television, like Disney Channel stuff.
Yeah, it's a slow replacement, but it's definitely happening.
Yeah, I think one person who's lasted for a while is PewDiePie, and he seems to be kind of doing well because I think he was smart where he, like you said, he banked a lot of the stuff and he invested in a lot of stuff, and now even though he's kind of blackballed, he's kind of fun.
Yeah, he made a shit ton of money. I mean, he's set for life. I can't imagine he's ever gonna have an issue.
Yeah. He's also like one of the few people who's managed to actually deal with like the quote unquote e-fame stuff without actually going insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Beardson, what important news topics do you have for us this week? With all your research,
got wife with a side chick.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, that's probably gonna wrap it up pretty soon, to be honest with you, because
it is
birthday.
1 o'clock.
Yeah. I plan on going outside nude and spreading the joy and gospel of my birthday to my neighbors.
I just did that.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Like my birthday or your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Some more breaking news. If anybody subscribed to the email list, it looks like Smokane 3 just dropped.
Oh shit! Did it really?
Yep. Actually, that was 19 hours ago.
Oh man, I'm a little. I'm gonna have to get all the same and tell him he should have dropped it for my birthday.
Yeah, check your promotions tab if you're using Zogmail.
Well, this has been a really, really good stream. Thanks for coming on.
Yes,
thanks for getting me on a watch list, guys. I really, really fucking appreciate it.
It's actually
not a problem.
Yeah, it's a protection list.
No, they're totally cool. Yeah,
so let me see. Who have I alienated today, aside from federal agents, Kekistani people, skeptics, women?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much when you come on the Weekly Sweat, you're basically alienated in at least 90% of the internet. So
because like they thought we were alt-right, but we hate the alt-right. So it's
because we're all Jews.
But for some reason, the alt-right still loves us. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think we may have actually gotten more views tonight than we did when we had Richard Spencer on. It's pretty close. So
yeah, seriously, actually. So
yeah,
that's your
that
power
means
level,
that
Jim.
Yeah, Jim, you're now the leader of the alt-right.
Yeah.
Oh, am I? Am I officially the leader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I'll go give everybody Roman salutes later, in celebration of my new position. Apparently.
So Jim is going to NPI 2017, and he's gonna wage war personally against the Antifa. So if you want to join up, subscribe to his Patreon. What's your Patreon, Jim?
It's Mundane Matt.
Okay.
It's patreon.com/smalltown
/ Flat Earth Antifa. Go ahead.
Let's switch it up a little bit. Hatreon, that's with an H, guys. Patreon.us/tvquaw. Still in private, so you're going to have to DM me for the privilege of getting an invite link to spend your money on that website. But pretty soon we're going to be public with that. Not actually lying, not a joke. It does exist. Cody Wilson essentially did me and a few other people a huge favor by creating an alternative to Patreon that doesn't take 20% of your earnings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, Beardson, I think this is time. You can push.
I need to sign up for that actually because I've been.
If you can find the
2 times.
Turn off the stream button, it would be nice.
Well, I'm pretty drunk, so I don't know if I can or not. Jim.
Jim, you did. There have been some questions. Earlier you DM'd me. You said, I remember you said, "Is Sean, your co-host, gay?" I would just like to clear it up. I don't know. I would never out somebody if they're gay, and there's no problem with it.
Well, you're a very good ally. Yeah, it's very good of you.
No, I'm not. Next question.
It's been really weird actually since it's my birthday. Like a lot of my fans have been asking me like, Beardson, did you when you blow out the candles on your cake, do you wish that Sean was straight instead of gay? I don't want to reveal any information about a person's sexuality that's not comfortable about coming out just yet. So I'm not going to answer that question. I just want to.
I just want to say I wore this special hat tonight because I've been learning psychic powers. The only one I know so far is called PK Homo, and it erases 1 week of Sean's conversion therapy.
Well, I mean, not that he would actually go under conversion therapy or anything like that, because we don't know about what's going
and
on.
he wouldn't need to conversion therapy is bad. If he's gay, he should just embrace it. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But Jim, do you have anything you want to plug? I mean, definitely everyone should go watch your Charlemagne the God video because that was
honestly, I'll step in for a second here and then let Jim finish. But he just released Deviant Art, or the Deviants of Deviant Art, episode 10 tonight. But seriously, Jim is honestly what red pilled me and made me racist and hate everybody. So watch his videos. He's great. He went by the internet aristocrat, and now he's Mr. Metokur. You can find his archives if you YouTube hard enough. But he's good. I promise.
Jim, before you leave, what was you said you were dropping a video on a bomb making guide.
Fertilizer bomb.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
I'm actually releasing a video tomorrow called "We Should All Thank the FBI for Doing a Fantastic Job."
That's right. Yeah, us too. Holy shit! We're doing a Blue Lives Matters, FBI Lives Especially Matter video tomorrow. So
yeah, I actually had to reformat my hard drive and lost all my shit this morning. But I had about 3 hours into my honorary piece for the FBI. More effects than I've ever put on any video that I've previously made. Tons of 3D text flying through there, just thanking them for their service every 5 seconds. It was great, but you guys will never see
Only
it.
Every 5 seconds? I have one that's it's actually, what I did is I molded a claymation thing, and it's every 3 seconds. So thank you for your service thing came up. Yeah, Jim, if you have anything you want to say or pimp or anything.
Oh, no, I'm good. I had fun. It was a good chat. It wasn't a cooking show like you all told me, though.
Well,
I came in here thought we were going to talk about recipes, but apparently it's a different thing altogether.
Well, we like to cook with fertilizer.
Fuck. That's bad.
It was a real honor to have you, Jim. You're truly an internet legend, and couldn't ask for anything. Couldn't ask for a better guest on my birthday. So hopefully, once you're, I know you're a very busy man, but if your schedule ever clears up, we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, man. Enjoy your birthday. Go out tomorrow, have that steak, and get drunk. Have a good time.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jim. You're a hero, and I want to salute you for your service.
Oh, thank you. I'll salute you right back as a new leader of the alt-right, apparently. So there you go.
All right, Paul. I know you don't have anything to show because you don't fucking do anything, you lazy prick.
No, I would like to shill patreon.com/paultown. It's basically I'm doing a fundraiser for federal servants. And that's it.
Quad, do you have anything you want to shill?
Well, there's something kind of in the works that you may have seen Contbot posting about on Twitter. Yeah. Beardson wasn't invited, so he's kind of butthurt about it. There's no slot, there's no column available for rap reviews, so unfortunately he wasn't included. But yeah, Contbot is taking the Autistic Mercury and turning it into like a critical review site. So he's pulling like 30 to 40 people to do reviews of new and old stuff. Still kind of taking shape, but just keep an eye out for it. He should come on the show sometime soon to shill it, honestly.
Yeah.
He's been absent for a long time. So
yeah. All right, that's cool.
Also, Real News 6 was deleted this morning when I had to reformat my computer, so all that work is gone. It was not quite done, so we'll be starting from scratch on that one, guys.
Cool. Sean, do you have any employers that you want to give a shout out to?
Yes, if you Googled my name and came up here, turn off this video. Otherwise, welcome to my life.
Well, what a depressing way to end it.
All right, and finally, I have a few things that I would like to shill before we leave. Basically, Armored Skeptic, I know you're watching this, and I will wrestle you because you're fat and ugly, and I feel like I could take you no problem. Also, it's my birthday, so be sure to send the feet straight to the DMs. That's at anti-gay veteran. That's my ad on Twitter. So be sure to hit me up there. And that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for Jim, aka Mr. Meeklater, for coming on. My hero, my source for the material.
Seriously, actually, yes. I'm not being facetious at all.
No, I really am not. He inadvertently made me
guys, you have to end the stream eventually. You know that, right?
I just want to suck his dick some more. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, no, that's Sean's job.
Yeah. Let me handle this, Beardson. I got this.
All right. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Thanks for our awesome guest, and wish me happy birthday, or I'm gonna come fucking put you in a headlock and put you in a noogie. Good night.